And that was it. But that's what happens. That's the standard these days.
That's one of the best shots I've ever seen. We did all sorts of scenarios and we worked out.
Don't tell anyone.
Snooker season is back, and we have kicked off with the Shanghai Masters this week. And let's just start off by congratulating the world number one, Judd Trump. Is he the world number one? He is the world number one, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty sure. But it was slipping. It was slipping,
He was getting close. I'm going to do a quick sanity check on the rankings to kick off the season.
I think Kyron and Xingtong and Neil didn't quite get that last result to pip him. I think. Been a couple of months since I've seen the rankings, though.
Yeah, so let's just... This is just...
Neil's number 2. Wow.
Because he had that big win in Saudi last year. That's the one that got him right up there. Although it's very close. It's very close, right? The 2, 3, 4 are very close.
How much money for the Saudi Arabia was it?
£500,000, I think, from memory.
So if Judd completely flopped that, so he won that 2 years ago, I think?
Yes.
Did he?
And Neil won it last year.
So if Judd lost first round, then maybe $500,000 comes off.
But the Saudi Masters is not being played this year, is it?
Oh, I thought that was one that was just on.
No, the Shanghai Masters was the one that was just on.
Right, yeah.
The Saudi event, I think, has been cancelled. So I don't know what happens to those points. Do they just hold on to them to the end of this year? Or do they wait?
So.
Do they wait until the date when it would have been has passed and then it drops off?
Probably the date would be the most fair thing. 2 years from when you acquire the points, so I would say they would come off.
Yeah, notwithstanding that it might be like within a week or something, because the weekend will be on a different time or something over there. But about then, at the end of that month, perhaps points should come off. So Judd was already number one. He's won the Shanghai. He's kicked off the season with a win, defeating Kyron Wilson in the final. There's Kyron down at number 7. And I guess the two big names from last year, Zhao Xingtong and Wu Yiz, are both in the semifinals. The last two world champions, and obviously the big names to come out of China. Xingtong defeated Neil, Australia's own Neil Robertson and friend of the pod, in the quarterfinals. It was a race to 6. Neil only scored 54 points in the match. He was held to 0 in 3 frames. Only scored 1 point. Only scored 1 point in another frame. So really only got to the table twice. Just completely frozen out by Xingtong.
It can be hard just sitting there for 20 minutes. Without it's hard, and then all of a sudden you got to come to the table, and sometimes you come to the table and you'll be in the balls and then you can get your arm going. But sometimes you're coming to the table and you've got this long do or die red to knock in. It's hard when you've just been sitting there for 20 minutes. When we're watching, you're making a cup of tea or making dinner or you're pottering around the house while that's happening. And then Neil gets to the table. You're like, oh, well, he's just been sitting there,
Yes.
It's hard. Just you
waiting.
You get cold real quick. I know when I'll have a hit with Mick sometimes. He'll run 3 or 4 racks in a row, and it felt like I haven't hit a ball all night. All of a sudden you come to the table, you're like, oh, you're almost like stiff again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he scored the 54 points. There was 1 point. There was a 49-point break. So he got in the balls a little bit, but then it must have broken down at 49.
He had his chance.
And that was his chance. And then the other one was 14 points. So he's spotted a couple of reds, couple of colours, and just fallen out of position or something, I guess. I presume the 1 point was a long red that he's spacked in and then not been on a colour. Something like that.
Yeah, probably knocked in like a long red shot to nothing and then trickled up the ball colours.
Trickled up, yeah. And that was it. But that's what happens. That's the standard these days.
Yeah, still the quarterfinals though, good for him.
Yeah,
of course they want to win, but it's not the end. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Now there was one interesting moment that you highlighted, Mark, that we're just going to share with people.
Yeah, I don't really normally watch much snooker unless it's. I actually get into the world titles, but I really don't watch much anything else except if it's some of Neil's matches.
Yeah,
and I don't know why. I was just in bed and I saw snooker, and it was like I like deciding frames. Actually, I can watch anyone play. I could watch two, C grade players play if it's a deciding frame down at the colors.
yeah,
And I flicked this on, and it sort of they started it towards the end of the frame.
yeah.
So I saw a shoot a few shots prior to this, and I thought this was interesting.
I'll paint
it's like a big Chinese 8-ball table.
I'll paint the picture for you, and then you can pick up the story. So Higgins has been snookered. It's a foul and a miss, so the ref is replacing the white ball. And I'll just pick up the action from here, and a couple of shots in, you'll kind of get to the moment, Mark, and perhaps you can kind of comment on it from there. Here we go.
Yeah, so I think this is Higgins. By memory, this is his second. This is his second go at it.
Correct.
I think he missed it as we're looking to the screen, the left-hand side, because you don't want to miss it to the...
you don't want to hit the black. Yeah,
you don't want to hit the black.
Yeah.
So, I think he's going this way again, and he should have the line now.
Yeah.
So there's every chance that he missed the first one on purpose, high and left, to then get the line. By memory, he's got a good result there.
Yeah, that was basically a full ball contact, and he's got the red past the center pocket. This was a good look at the white ball here. This was a pretty good line for the white ball.
Oh wow!
But yeah, Lazowski has fluked the red.
So the problem is 29 behind. So he has to go for a color here.
Yeah, right.
And the problem is you're going for a color and then you're landing on the yellow. So it's not even a shot to nothing. Like it's 5-all. It's as do or die as it possibly gets.
Yeah.
So I just really respect this shot.
And he's a left-handed too, right? But he's looking at playing the yellow right-handed. Like we just saw him.
I almost think you'd play it down to the bottom left and top the white off 2 rails and back up.
Yeah, such a hard shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he's going to play the yellow right-handed, he wants to get the cue ball as close to, quite close to that side cushion. So he doesn't have to do too much.
Have a look at this.
Unbelievable.
That's one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Given the whole, anyone can play that shot, but the context of it.
Yeah, I mean, if he misses, he just loses, right?
He's out of the tournament. Like, that's it.
Yeah, because he's going to leave the green near the pocket as well.
Well, I suppose if you're going to die wondering. If it goes in, you win. If it doesn't, there's no point in playing the green and playing sort of a lengthy white and then having to let your opponent back in a few times. You might as well put all your eggs in one basket, I guess.
Look at this.
Yeah.
You can't just play straight up, just black to left rail, white up to the top rail.
Oh, there's some obvious safeties, but he doesn't want to play safe, right? He wants the frame.
I reckon you're playing black to top left.
Yeah.
He really should have prioritized getting the white down onto the rail a lot more.
What about
that was the problem with the shot.
What about instead of like doing what you said about getting the white down there, play the shot a bit softer. You're not going to get the white on the back rail, but you're going to obviously get you're going to kill some of the pace of the object ball, and when it does spit out, if it does, it's not going to go all the way across. So you don't really need the white ball at the back rail. You just need the pace right. So when it does jaw, it comes across at 2 or 3 feet rather than like what it did, because obviously he hit it harder to get a good white, but he didn't really need to do that because he's already getting a good white. So maybe play the same shot, but play it at 40% less. So therefore, when it does jaw, maybe it only jaws over by a foot or two rather than going straight across.
Did the white hit the bottom rail and come up, or did it fall short?
it didn't even make it to the bottom rail.
Because he does. I mean, does he really need to get the white at the back rail? Like wherever it is, it actually doesn't matter.
Well, if that white's on the rail, that shot Higgins played is probably about 3 times harder to knock in.
Yeah, but the object ball won't be over there. It'll be just
Then
up
maybe-
there somewhere. So
Maybe play white to left rail then and play
Yeah.
the shot softer.
yeah. So because the more you try and bring it back, the harder you got to hit it. So
I wonder if
Yeah.
they practiced that. I've never seen Neil or any of them practice that. Like, set that shot up 10 times and you might just be surprised at what you should do in this scenario. Is it the pot? Is it the safety? Is it just go full-blooded to the middle? Is it play white to left rail or back rail? Hit it 20%, 50%, 80%? Like, it'd be interesting. I saw how Black Higgins knocked in. That was a good one.
Yeah, so fabulous shot on the green from Jack, but in the context of the match, but yeah, it was all for naught.
But you notice sort of his body language and the speed he played it. He was like, okay, red's gone in. What do I have here? Okay, I have to knock in a ball. Which ball am I going to knock in? The green. And I'm going to knock it in there. All right, here we go. You know, there wasn't this like cringing for a minute about this awful situation he's in, because then you're never going to knock the green in. He quickly assessed, I got to knock this in, and just sort of composed himself and got on with it. I liked it.
pretty good.
You
You see shots like that in C grade.
Yes.
They've done the maths wrong, though. They haven't worked out that they needed to pot it. They just thought it was the right shot. They couldn't see a safety.
The other interesting one that came up this week, we'll get back to pool now for a moment. The other interesting one that came up with this is Chris Melling.
Yes.
In a situation that we actually don't see Chris in very often. So I'll just sort of play and we can see what happens. Actually, I'll put the commentary on just very softly because it is quite interesting actually.
Oh, a little bit of a stretch, on one leg.
Top class, this is. Top class from both. Oh,
Wow.
what is going on?
My word. Oh, word.
Big whack of the cue.
Never seen him do that before. Smacks his cue on the table.
And look at his
Look at
face.
his
Wall in there
face.
for that.
He knows what I mean. That just
Look at his face.
He's
unbelievable.
filthy.
His jaw is clenched
It
so
shows how
tight.
much
Look at him. He's
done.
breathing. Look at
You
his
can see a
chest.
mark on the table where
Yeah.
it's chalk with.
Now, I'm just going to pause it for a second because I wanted to ask you guys what you thought tactically the right thing to do for Reds here was.
I can't remember exactly what he did, but I remember I didn't like it. I mean, I don't like what he's doing here. I remember seeing a shot that he should have played, but he didn't. I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really put too much thought into it.
I would have thought, like, for these guys, the Reds are all pretty open. For these guys, playing a skill shot should be pretty comfortable. Like this red closest to the black is on to play onto that yellow, as are these two down the bottom. Like I would have thought you've got an opportunity to play.
I'd want to be 100% behind it because any angle makes a skill shot obviously a lot harder. And if the red moves left or right, then there's a chance for the black to go under, or there's a chance for them to actually make the skill shot with the black. So I'd want to be right behind it.
But surely you could control one of these balls to get straight onto the one up to the top corner, stun that, and then you're right behind this line.
It's yellow's best chance to win. If you go for a skill shot, if I'm yellow's in the chair and if I see them lining up a skill shot, I am very happy because they could you could just play a turnover and lay a snooker off these bottom two reds.
Yeah. I don't think I'm ever doing a skill shot here. I'm probably doing what Mark said. I'm just getting rid of that yellow, getting a good white, or even potting the yellow in the center, going down and trying to hit the yellow with the black, move the yellow and black. Knock the yellow in, off the black or whatever. And then the world's your oyster. Like, as soon as that black, I'm actually just trying to hit the black to the rail. And as soon as you hit it to the rail, there's hardly any chance for them to win. And then you can play a turnover, a skill shot, whatever you like. It doesn't actually matter. But
can you rewind it 2 shots?
Sure. I'll just get back to where we were at. All right, here we go.
On one leg.
I'll just let him get out of the way. We'll just kind of go back to the start. And we'll have a look at the table layout after he misses.
Yeah. You just never see that from
I've
him.
never seen him do that before.
His face.
Look.
The tension in that jaw. Okay, here we go. Here we are.
Yeah, so if you can, so I think you want after you pot this red in, I think you want the white on the rail.
Yeah.
Then if you're playing the red down the rail, trying to come low side of these two, and then you're playing a turnover on the top yellow, and you're snookering them behind the black on the other remaining red. So now they've got to come off like 2 or 3 rails to hit the black, and you've got a ball over the hole and all your other reds on. Basically just 99 out of 100 you win.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be looking at there. But I remember he started potting a few balls, and I thought, I don't know about this.
Yeah, well,
Mick and I did this when these rules first came in, and I got a Supreme before anyone. So we're like, okay, let's do some schooling on this. And we did all sorts of scenarios, and we worked out that almost always, whenever they've got one ball left on the table and it's over the hole.
Tell anyone.
No, I'll tell them and they won't listen anyway. They'll try and pot out. No one listens. And we worked out that you basically, if you can't pot out, or even if you can, it's almost always ideal to get their ball off the table. It almost always is favorable to just remove their ball off the table in any sort of tactical weird scenario like this and all the others. Yeah, we worked at it. It took us probably a full day, but we ran a whole bunch of scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't actually just even playing games. We were just setting up scenarios like this and just figuring it out as we went. And we thought if we can get better at everybody else in Australia, like right now, at this, we'd have an advantage and then everyone will click on. But all we needed was an advantage at the start to, do all right at some comps.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, let's let this play through and we'll see what happens. I mean, he's definitely played that like, I'm going to clear a third. Like, he's dead straight on that one to the corner now, right? If he was going to play a skill shot, he could stun that one to the corner.
I think here,
doesn't it? It's going in the middle.
I don't know if you can go back 5 or 10 seconds.
So we'll get rid of, Marty, can you get rid of the volume for a sec?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe, and just, I think, go back to where he had those 2 balls there. So when he played the one down the rail.
Yeah, so they're like even there.
So right here. So after this shot right here, he could easily, I don't think he was in a good enough position to obviously take the yellow off the table there as well. Like, you know what I was going to say was he could just stun the red that he was going to pot and just sit right behind that ball. But Melling can go up and down.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think he could have a go at after he pots this, I think he's got pretty good angle to play the shot to nothing skill shot. If he makes a skill shot, he wins. If he doesn't,
that's what he tried.
He ends up directly. I'll see if I can get this timing. After he rolls this in, you see a camera angle, and he's directly on the long pot to the corner with no angle. He's dead straight.
Yeah. So this one here.
Here he goes. Look at that. Look where he is.
No, this shot coming up.
I understand, but what I'm saying is that shot to the corner is a stun, and then he is close and dead straight on his skill shot to the corner. If that's what he wanted to play.
No, because the problem is if you don't make that skill shot, the black could just literally be on.
Yeah.
But right there, so if we go back 5 seconds, I'm just trying to get the angle of that shot.
He could have played it off this shot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what I was saying before. I thought he could play the skill shot here.
Sorry, I'll get this right in a second.
That's all right.
There, that's what you wanted to see.
So like he can play the skill shot there, leave the white where the red is. If it doesn't go in, Melling's got a half ball black on the wrong side. You could play it a bit more forceful and maybe try and just play the turnover and screw the white back onto the rail.
Mm-hmm.
See, on the shot before, if he come back another half ball, then he's got a really nice skill shot, and then the white comes over and snookers Melling.
Just stuns to kind of full ball snooker on the black, yes.
And then it's really game over. Like, he can do whatever he wants then.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was surprised to see this ball taken onto the right center. He's just clearing more balls off the table, right? Getting rid of soldiers.
But if he just hit this one like what Mark said, but even hit the rail first softly and then hit the yellow in, the object ball is going to be in front of the black anyway, even if Melling comes off the side rail.
Yeah.
Like, he's just putting it in the way, and that's all you need to do. Sometimes just simple stuff is actually some of the best you can like the good safeties. I don't know.
All right,
Keep it simple.
And turn this commentary back on just as we listen to this because it's quite interesting as well.
And now he plays it.
Yeah, he's played a good shot.
So he has snookered him.
Yeah, get rid of
It's
the
a good
short mark
shot.
after the old after
Wipes the
the
chalk
McEnroe
off the table.
hit. Happy Gilmore.
It's the middle pocket. Oh, bottom corner. He's got it.
Oh, my
He has
word.
got it.
Oh,
What on earth are we witnessing here?
Crazy frame.
Oh,
crazy
my goodness.
frame.
Wow. This is
Yeah,
absolute.
look, the end result, he's got a good snooker there. He's got the pocket covered. There's only so much you can do. You know, Melling's always going to come off a rail or two and he will hit the black. He's probably the best in the world at it.
Yeah. Like Melling will do that sort of stuff. Like, no, I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised that like maybe that's a 1 in 10 for a Melling and a 1 in 50 for the rest of us. But, you know, he's going to do that sort of stuff and no surprises there. It's the fact that he cleared 3 balls off the table first and then kind of left him closer to the black instead of further away.
But I suppose he had the pocket covered and he had the snooker. So
Yes.
I don't think it really mattered whether he had 6 balls or 7 balls on the table or 4 balls. He got the ball over the pocket and he got the snooker. So in fact, he did it. He did a good job there, I think. Except, yes, Melling was closer to his work. But at the end of the day, something has to give. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to have the pocket covered and a snooker. So you've actually got to come off. Yeah, you've got to do what he did. And if it misses, which there's a good chance it will.
And I think he did try, he played it as a 2-way shot. I think he attempted the skill shot.
Yeah.
Because if the red drops, he was on the one in the center of the table.
Yeah.
As well. So, you know.
And you would too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're being picky here.
Yeah.
You know, like if this was, but the reason why we can be picky is because these are top tier world class players. You can only be picky because they're not going to do silly stuff. They just don't, you know. And if they do, there's a reason for it. And if you pull one up from up on it, they'll go, yeah, I knew this was a bit loose or silly, but I just had enough and I wanted to throw the cue at some balls. You're like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get it, you know. They understand.
Yeah. Interesting stuff there. Fascinating to see Melling so emotional in that moment. Like you could really see him tensed up and
his
angry.
chest breathing.
Oh, yeah.
Breathing so heavy. And then to get away with it like that.
And possibly did some damage to his cue along the way as well. He really whacked that on the table.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if it wasn't the match that did that or the frame. I wonder if it was something on the outside, you know, something happened at home or whatever. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Most of the time it is.
So much going on in life. We could get there and play angry. And if something like that happens, you want to hurt something. And I've been there sometimes. I've sort of bent my cue. I'm like, I just want to go a bit more and finish it.
Remember what I said to you a few sessions ago?
Yeah.
Mick was, I just saw it. He just something wasn't quite right. And I don't even know what happened. I think he broke and just kept dry breaking or something. And he was not far off breaking that cue. And I said, I'll take it off you. You know, like
I just thought if it
break
breaks
with a different cue or something.
If it breaks, I can end it. I can sell the table. I'm done. It's all good. I'm happy. So it was, you know.
Funny. Yes, the emotion that comes through.
There was actually a funny one where I got a good photo of it where Mick's cue, he's broke and he's got his cue leaning up against the table and something happened and his cue started to like slip to fall. And he went to all he could do was dive his foot out to try and lower the impact, but he's ended up kicking the leg of the table. His cues hit the ground, that his break cues hit the ground, and he's rolling on the ground himself. So all three of them went down. And I was just I was just there sitting on the stool. I had a front row seat to it. I
laughing.
I started laughing. I didn't for a few seconds, but I couldn't help it.
It hurt so much.
You have to laugh at that sort of stuff. All right, gents. Thank you very much. That was great. See you next
20
time.
20 minutes as always. See you, boys.
See you later.
Ciao.